There we go. All right, so 3, 2, 1. Well, Mayor Doug, welcome back. Mayor's Monday at WSAU, WSAU.com. Election is finally over. The budget's nearly completed. How much sleep have you been getting?
Well,
Is sleep improving?
Sleep is improving. I think the sleep-deprived ones are the clerk's office, and my hat's off to them. They really did a stellar job. They were here, I think, until about 1:45 in the morning well, I guess that would be the morning of Wednesday. But they had a record number of early and absentee ballots to go through. So Central Count was here pretty late, and they were here some of the staff were here all day long. They did a great job.
And now suddenly I don't feel so bad. I was here. I think it was about 1:45, 2 o'clock when Tom Schumacher and I walked out of the office too. So we were on about that same schedule.
Oh, you were.
Yeah, we were
reporting on the.
We were there reporting, and yeah, I mean, 95% turnout. Has that sunk in yet? What that kind of means for the community? I mean, that's exactly what you want to see, right?
I think so. It shows that people were engaged. It shows that people were interested in whatever it would happen to be, a candidate or a question. I think that's a good thing, and the fact that we were able to handle it without any hiccups. Got no reports of running out of ballots this time. We've had, as far as I know, 0 complaints, other than there were a few people who had to stay out. The line was a little long at one or two locations, but they stuck it out. Some were out there with umbrellas. I voted this time around at Thrive Church, and normally I'm in and out in about 5-6 minutes.
Exactly.
It took me about 35 minutes. Still not just too shabby, and they were really efficient getting those masses through.
35 minutes you were doing, you were quick. I waited in line an hour and 15 minutes at Marathon Park at the Eastgate Hall, and at a certain point, I just about said, I'm gonna come vote in the middle of the workday instead of at the start. But I said, you know what? I'm in line. I don't see a better time coming because the people are still coming in behind me.
Well, they took them in waves at Thrive. At one point, they were outside the door. So I think I'll sit down with Caitlin and see if they had the right staff. I mean, this is historic. So how do you plan for that? I mean, ideally, I think you'd want to be in and out of there in under 30 minutes. I think most people are willing to dedicate a little bit of time because there is a process. So we'll look at it if there's any improvements. She's actually been very efficient in the process.
Yeah, indeed. And again, hats off to everybody that was a part of that process. The poll workers out there, we would certainly appreciate what they did for. And that's really what it is, democracy in action, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that, and then the budget, of course, we got to talk about the budget. We're just finishing that up here, but there's one aspect that we really haven't had a chance to kind of look at, and it was one of your proposals from earlier this summer, the pilot payment in lieu of taxes between the water utility and the city. I've boiled this down to those that don't understand it. You're essentially, it's the property tax for the water utility to the city. What are we doing, or how are we going to handle that going forward here as we kind of finish the budget process?
Sure, it's the payment in lieu of taxes. Now, I had asked that we take it from 1.59 down to 1.49 to start moving it down. Of course, if you recall, we had the committee of the whole meeting to discuss the pilot. And one of the things that's counterintuitive, and Frank, I'm going to mess up his last name, Schrader, wrote an article, he's from Rib Mountain, on PSC math, the Public Service Commission math.
Right.
It's counterintuitive that if I lower the pilot payment and then go for a rate case, that I still might have to, they may still recommend raising rates because we are under reserves and they want us to build up this massive reserve. So the thought now is, let's put that money into meters and try to recover that 17% shortfall that we had pumped to build water, because we've determined there's a number of meters that are broken, under registering or not registering. So it could be 1,500 meters plus. So we'll replace all of those and start getting some return on that, and then that'll give us a little more wiggle room to get that pilot back down again, or start working on it.
So the as far as replacing these meters go, where are we at in this process right now? Is this underway?
It is underway. We released $1 million to bring in meters. The exact number of meters that we purchased, I don't have at the tip of my tongue, but we are working multiple crews, more than we've ever put in, because we're also installing a new meter every time there's a lead service line replacement. So that was a little over 600 this year. And then we're chasing anytime we get a billing that shows no usage, we're going after those to get them replaced. Find out, make sure that there's maybe it's an abandoned building at this point. We want to find out why was there not usage. If you're using water, you should be paying for it. So we'll spend that money to help build those reserves. And I would like to think, because I took this to council at the committee of the whole meeting, and they decided to not take action on it. I want to push them a little bit to really consider what they committed to, and if that pilot payment in lieu of taxes is not necessary, let's start moving it down.
Yeah. So as far as a return on this, then next year sometime might we see some sort of action where you say, here's how much more we're billing. Maybe we can go for another rate case study at that point.
Well, so that would be the $1 million question, right? If we can get that 17% to sub, let's say 7%, that would be single digits. 10% of a $12 million budget is 1.2 million. That could put us in a pretty good, but that's the pilot payment right there. So I think the priority that we're taking is stop the losses. So I mean, the other thing could be we could have a leak out there. It may, we're pretty sure that's not the case. We're pretty sure that it's under-reporting of billing with the old meters.
Absolutely. So yeah, we'll see where this ends up going over the next year or so. But again, that's one of those things that you ran on, and this is obviously something that you wanted at the forefront. And hey, here we go. We're getting action on it, right? This is how things get done.
Well, I think so, and I hope people can appreciate that. Even though the council decided not to start whittling away at the pilot, we're investing in that money in the water utility, in meters and building recovery, if you will. Water loss recovery, I think is the proper term.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say, just like any business out there, if you're seeing some sort of 17% loss somewhere, you've got to go ahead and chase that and see what that could be, and and how you stop that, right?
Right. So the payback could be a year or two once we start capturing it. You get down to single digits. Now there's always going to be some loss, some evaporation, some leak. We do some back flushing, that kind of thing. But 17% is a little high.
Yeah, we'll look forward to seeing where that goes over the next year or so here in Wausau. Another thing, we got to explain what you're wearing.
Sure. There
around your neck. You're actually speaking my language there. That is what is known as a soccer scarf. You wanted to give a shout out to a new sports franchise in town here.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about it.
So this is MASL 2, which is one notch below MASL 1, which is I would call it the woodchucks of soccer.
It is a semi-professional, yeah.
Yes, so this is the Wisconsin Conquerors. I don't know if you can see that. Wisconsin Conquerors. And so they stopped up here to invite me to the ribbon cutting on November 18th at the Turner Greeneck Fieldhouse, and their first game is December 19th at the same place. So yeah, I think they have 12 games here in town. They're going to be bringing a lot of people. It's college level players in this league. So I'm looking forward to learning a little bit more about soccer.
You didn't pick that up in your time in the military.
I didn't. I've been to a few soccer games, but the scarf protocol you just informed me of is how to properly wear it and how to properly display it when we get a goal.
Score, yeah.
Yes. looking
Yes.
forward to it.
Yeah, it's and for somebody like me that I didn't necessarily grow up around it. I've grown into it. I say, it makes the game fun. You're there. Everybody else around you is wearing the scarf as you are wearing it right now. You don't actually tie it. You just drape it because it becomes.
Because you want to be able to.
Yes, you gotta wing it
Show
around
the
on
colors.
corner kicks. You gotta show it off. Yes, it becomes part of the fun. So I'm glad I could teach you about that. And yes, that's a good looking scarf.
It is, really is, and it's well done. It's the Wisconsin Conquerors, and of course they call it the football club.
FC,
but we,
yep.
as now new soccer aficionados, know exactly what they're talking about.
Yes, indeed. And I like that they got the Dudley Tower on there as
Yes.
well. That one's probably one that I'll be adding to my collection. You've seen The Office. You know what it looks like. There are several
Yes.
there. My home, there's even more at home, believe it or not.
Well, join me at the game,
So,
and we'll.
yeah.
I've never kicked a ball for the first for the opening event, but I'll get a chance to do that.
Oh,
Put my tennis shoes
you've
on.
got the first kick then.
Yes.
Okay, that's another thing that they occasionally do at matches is yes, the ceremonial first kick, just like the first pitch. One more thing before we let you go. I know obviously anybody that knows you knows you are a huge fan of Service Academy football. Army Navy is coming up here in a few weeks, and it could be Army Navy double if they're playing in the American Championship. How are you feeling about this?
I think Navy is 6-2. I think Army was undefeated.
Army's
of
still
last
undefeated,
week.
yep.
Okay, I'm going with Army this year. You'll see the Naval Academy up there. My youngest son graduated from the U.S. Naval Academy. I've been to several of the Army Navy games, and while he was in and attending, we were
divided.
We were house divided. I did support Navy on the rare occasion that they won. It was it was a fun game to go to MetLife Stadium. So this year, my money's on Army.
And if Army ends up making the college football playoff, then too, you think?
Wouldn't that be huge?
You think that could happen? You think they can pull it off?
Well, if they come through undefeated, sure, I think they will.
I think
have to be given a spot.
Yeah, I think they deserve a spot. I think I would like to see them. I don't know if I would give up Colorado having a good season for it to happen, but I'll tell you what, watching the Service Academy offense, I call it the triple option. It's really fun, really fun. It's great to see the discipline and the teamwork, and of course, then that they take that off the field and into their career in this armed forces, right?
Yes. Well, it's definitely an old school offense on the Army for sure, and well, even Navy. They some of their biggest yardage runners come from the quarterback over the years.
Indeed.
Yeah. So our household, the Diny household, I have one son in the Army, one in the Navy, and they always have a bet who wears the other's apparel after the loss. So it's all in good fun, and I definitely, I will say, go Army, beat Navy.
No love for Air Force, though?
Yeah,
Yeah, no love for
Colorado
the Air Force
is the
Academy.
best thing about that, maybe, but
you can't go wrong with time spent in Colorado. That's always time well spent. Well, Mayor Diny, we appreciate the time. Look forward to chatting again next month as well.
go Army, beat Navy.
All right.